has it been of people that have been referred versus the ones that have been accepted?
I'll have to get back to you. I can give you year by year.
Yeah, I'm just general number. I don't need it specific.
Well, we have been more streamlined in the past few years. I say exactly in the past 5 years, where we're keeping better data, where I can actually show you the number who have been referred and the number who qualified. There used to be a lot more students who would be referred, but they didn't qualify.
Yeah.
So we're closing that gap and doing better, especially because we're doing a whole lot more training than we have done in the past. So the teachers are getting a whole lot more support, and we're looking more closely at our data.
Okay. Yeah, I'd kind of like to know.
Okay, I'll get that to you.
And Amy, I would also add that the training that's being provided to teachers so that they really know what they're looking for, and the amount of time that they have to actually monitor a student before they can even get to that point of referring a student has really been a piece that the special ed department has been really keeping their hands close to. Also, the PST, the problem solving team process, really supports us in making sure the students have received the services they need prior to actually getting that referral. So a lot of things are happening before they even get to that referral stage now that wasn't necessarily happening with a lot of diligence previously.
And we're also spending a lot more time with our brand new teachers. So we get with them every month, and we make sure that we spend quality time with those brand new teachers.
The regular ed, we'll quote the regular ed teachers. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the special ed teachers, our brand new special ed teachers, so that they'll know when to accept a referral. And we talk about a lot of other things also.
Well, if you're running around gathering up data, could you give me an idea of what, I remember at one time, the percentage of money that the federal government gave to the states was somewhere around 44%. They never fully funded special ed.
No.
Down to about 17 now.
Yeah, Jason probably has that at the top of his head.
Yeah.
It's actually less than a third. Our federal IDEA money, IDEA specific money from the federal government is less than a third of the total required maintenance of effort level that.
So they have dropped their contribution
consistently over the last 5 years.
So we've had to pick them up.
There's members of the community who constantly slam Huntsville City Schools in the blogs and in the web who are just totally uninformed on this topic. While the federal government's been cutting resources devoted to special ed, we've been backfilling and increasing local resources provided to special ed. That's how we're able to increase services and the quality of services. The rules of supporting special ed students from the federal government have gone up, but the money has gone down by, since just you and I have been here, what, by about a third?
Yes, sir.
So,
How long do you think we can go on like that?
well, that's a question of...
That's a tough question,
yeah.
I know.
I mean, educating these children is governed by federal law. There's not really any federal law that governs the level of service we have to provide to non-special ed services, to non-special ed students. So,
Trade-offs.
It's the bill payer will be non-special ed students.
Yeah, I'd hate for us to have to cut the services.
Well, we can't for special ed services.
Right, we're kind of locked into it,
Right.
and so it's got to come from somewhere else.
Right. This is the problem of almost any time you take federal money, whether it's for food or anything, is there's a real rigidity in the system. Thankfully, we're in Huntsville, and our city resources the school system well. Other systems aren't that fortunate.
Okay.
The state provides the money a flat rate.
5%.
Right?
Right. They essentially assume 5% of our students are special ed, and then they resource a very little bit of money for that 5%.
Ms. Sledge, you said you've got 269 new referrals since the start of school year. And how many psychometrists do you have to process those
We
children?
have 5.
5, okay.
Any, board members, any more questions? Anyone from the audience? Okay.
When it comes to, I saw that you had reading as a disability. How do you determine the difference between a student that may be grade levels behind and one that has a true learning disability? So, you know, they would really need to go down 2 different paths. So how do you determine the difference between the two?
The difference between a student with a reading disability.
A student that has a reading disability and one that's just grade levels behind.
Okay, well, we go through extensive evaluations. It starts mainly with the referral process, and we look at data to see if the student should be accepted in the referral process. So we look at a lot of data and make a decision with the parent included.
So
go through the evaluation process and
teachers
find a child.
can refer?
Yes, sir.
Can parents
Anyone.
refer? Anyone can refer.
Yes, sir.
And we have a program called Child Find as well, right?
That's
Where
it.
we go looking
Yes, sir.
even very, very young. And that's how many children end up in the pre-K program.
Right.
Yeah, so.
I think what he's, I think if I'm interpreting you right, you're asking if I have a ninth grader who's on the fourth grade reading level, how do I know there's a learning disability towards it? He did not have effective instruction, and he's behind because of that, not because of something.
We
You
have
know.
to rule that out.
Have to rule it out.
Yes,
Okay.
we have to prove that the child has had instruction.
Is that through the BBST?
The PST.
The PST. What's the state test that we have to administer before we start the federal testing?
Well, we have several instruments. It depends on the disabilities we're looking at. So as far as, like, for instance, other health impaired, we might be looking at behavior. So there are several tests. It just depends on the disabilities that we're looking at the time.
Have we got rid of them annotated tests? What's them, the one with them racial biases and all that stuff in that we used to have?
We don't have those.
Okay, I'm just checking.
We have up-to-date
Okay.
tests
Laura.
in each area.
Oh, I forgot you
I'm
said
sorry.
that. I'm sorry.
What is the fail? It says that a teacher can refer a student or so forth. What if a student's a kind of a troublemaker in the classroom and is behind? Can they still? Is there
That's
still a way to
still-
weed that situation out?
Yes, that's still
Okay.
data that we look at. So we look at everything concerning the child, not just what reading level they're on, but we look at their behavior, we look at everything. And I will talk with you more if you would like to come and visit me.
Okay, now, and one more question before, and you got one, Walker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy, do we do any training with the regular ed teachers?
Yes, sir. We offer lots of training, and it's public. We make sure that it's out there for everyone to know, where they can look to find.
As far as the find and identify?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Walker, a general ed teacher identified my son when he was in first grade because he was having issues. So it was the general ed teacher that put her finger on the nose of him.
You have a question? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I do. I just would like to add a very special thank you. I have a son with cystic fibrosis, and this is his first year in school. And thanks to his 504 special needs plan that you guys have granted, our year is going very well. So
Thank you.
I really appreciate all the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more, now, the question I have about your aides. What's the turnaround if an aide decides I'm gonna do something else on Monday morning and I'm not coming back?
We
What's
call-
the turnaround in that classroom?
We call Appleton sometimes, depending on how many aides are out, because they do send subs if someone is out. Sometimes we don't have enough on that day, so we just, other staff step in and help. But usually the same day we can get an aide to come in, same day.
Okay. Any other questions?
How many children are typically in a self-contained unit? Is there like a maximum?
We don't have a maximum because the state does not have a cap, but we try to keep between 8 and 10. Sometimes, depending on the grade, there might be 12, like for middle school. So the numbers can be larger as the kids are older. But we try, the younger they are, we try to